Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
Colby Lewis has been the Rangers' rock this season. In his last 13 starts, he's 8-2. At Globe Life Park, solid, going 5-1 in 11 starts here. He's the senior statesman, smooth and steady, and he looks to continue a very nice season when he faces the Tampa Bay Rays. Coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T UVerse TV. It is a beautiful midsummer's evening here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Your Rangers looking to make it 2 in a row as they take on the Tampa Bay Rays. And may the force be with you again tonight from Globe Life Park. It is Star Wars weekend here in North Texas. Rangers had the force with them last night. They turned the trick at a 5-3 win over Tampa Bay. Tonight, an interesting matchup in pitchers, Mac, in that we have Colby Lewis, the grizzled veteran, and the young, hard-throwing right-hander, Chris Archer.
You're right, Buzz. The young, hard-throwing all-star Chris Archer has been very, very tough this season. A young pitcher on the rise, made his first all-star team. You look at his numbers there. His road numbers in 10 road starts, 7-2 with a 2.3 ERA. 213 opponents batting average, and he's among the league leaders in pitching in a number of pitching categories: strikeouts, ERA, innings pitched. So he's a young workhorse. We've got the grizzled veteran, Colby Lewis. He has been a workhorse for this Rangers ball club. Very steady, very consistent all year long. So he's looking to extend that streak. 4-1 over his last 5 starts. ERA just a little bit over 4. Just 3 walks and 30 strikeouts. And when Colby Lewis is able to do that, you know that fastball, he's been able to command that, and he's using that slider and getting the job done.
Colby Lewis has just been tough as nails for the Rangers, and the Rangers hope he can keep that up. Texas has won 8 of their last 9 in this ballpark. They'll look to make it more tonight. A hot Josh Hamilton here at home getting set to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll have the starting lineup to the first pitch right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer to kick off the summer right. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. A great night for Ranger baseball, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, the second of 3 over this weekend. And before we get things underway tonight, let's check in on the field with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, as it has been well documented, Colby Lewis, basically a medical marvel at this point. The things he continues to come back from in the season he's put together thus far has been impressive, to say the least. And when asking Colby if he feels like he's gotten stronger as the season's gone along, here's what he had to say.
I feel like my body's really conditioned pretty well right now. My arm feels great. I'm not going through any, bumps or hiccups or anything like that right now. So, yeah, I feel really refreshed, really good.
And he is a creature of habit. He says the same things over and over again, but you kind of have a feeling there is a method to his madness, because what he says seems to have come true this season, to pitch deep into games, to give his team a chance to win, and even when he doesn't have his best stuff, to be able to stay in there long enough to save the bullpen from being too terribly taxed. So he really has carried this rotation at times and has been the epitome of consistency every 5th day for the Rangers, guys.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, you know what they say. You keep repeating the same thing over and over again, eventually you believe it. And that's what Colby's talked himself into being the pitcher he is today. And he's also put that hard work in. Well, Matt's going to tell you now about the Tampa Bay lineup that Colby will face tonight.
All right, leading off for the Rays will be John Jaso. He's hitting .325 on the year and .474 on the road. Grady Sizemore being right field. He'll bat second. Evan Longoria is the third baseman. He'll bat third. James Loney is hitting .327 with runners in scoring position. He'll bat cleanup and play first base. Logan Forsythe is fifth and playing second base. As Drupal Cabrera is the shortstop. He'll bat sixth. Desmond Jennings in left field. He'll bat seventh. Kevin Kiermaier took a 2-run homer from Prince Fielder last night. He'll be back in center field. Rene Rivera will do the catching and bat ninth.
And that lineup will face the 36-year-old veteran from Bakersfield, California. Colby Lewis, 12-5, just 2 victories away from his career high mark of 14. Pitching as consistently well, I think, as we've seen him in his Ranger career. And that's due primarily to his outstanding command of the fastball slider combination that he features. And, he has been something to watch. A complete game loss, albeit a loss last time out in Seattle, but he has been extremely strong, and he is ready to get things underway. John Jaso, the DH, leading off for Tampa Bay, and he takes ball 1. Jaso, we saw briefly last night, came on as a pinch hitter. He is 1 for 8 in his career against Colby Lewis. .325 the average for Jaso. A home run, 10 driven in. He ripped 1 foul, and that will even the count, and a ball and a strike. Jaso primarily handles right-handed pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. He is in his second tour of duty this year with the Rays. Takes that slow breaking ball. Colby breaking that out early tonight. Normally we don't see that slow curveball until about the 3rd or 4th inning.
Right, he wants to establish that strike zone. He wants to get ahead and use everything that he's got. So I like him, flipping that first one up there for a strike.
Hard hit off the glove of Moreland. Brugman has it to Colby, covering. They got it.
Wow, look at that.
Well, we talked about defense in our pregame talk. There it comes into play, the first batter of the ball game tonight.
There it is. Beautiful play, just the way they drew it up. Hard hit ball off Mitch's glove. Odor's right there. And the old veteran knows anytime that ball's hit to the right side of the infield, hey, I got to get over. And Colby's there, plenty of time. Nice route. Didn't have to reach back for it. Mitchell's wrist is probably a little sore right now. But great job of Odor being right there backing him up.
And I thought it was real nice of Elvis to go over and make sure after Colby sprinted over to first base that the Pops was okay coming back to the mound. Give him a little chance to catch his breath. You got to take care of your starter.
That's right. Veteran move.
Oh, 1 out. Here's Grady Sizemore. First pitch to the veteran left-handed hitter is in for strike 1. Sizemore, we saw in last night's contest very briefly also. Came on as a pinch hitter, had 2 at-bats in that ball game, went 0 for 2. Shoots one to left field, that is slicing, and it is foul. Fortunately, there's no way anybody could catch up to that. The ball hitting off the warning track and into the seats. So it will be no balls and 2 strikes to Sizemore. Sizemore started the year with the Phillies. Came over to the Tampa Bay Rays, and he has had good success against the Rangers in his career. Most of Sizemore's career in Cleveland. 55 career games against the Rangers. He's hit .295. Down on the count here to Colby Lewis. Colby started, then stopped, and Sizemore's a little confused. He said, well, let's start this whole process over again. Sizemore, half a dozen home runs in a Tampa Bay uniform. 13 driven in. And that chopper foul going the other way. Take a look at tonight's Ranger defense quick. It's delivered to you by DeMontront RV. Same setup defensively as last night for the Rangers. Outfield of Hamilton to Shields and Chu. Rougned Odor, 29 double plays started. That's 3rd most among second basemen in the American League. You have to remember now, Rougned missed about 8 weeks of playing at second base. So he and Elvis Andrus and the rest of the infield have done a great job turning double plays. Rougned right in the middle of a lot of them. Rangers have turned 113 this year.
It's a lot of double plays, and especially for a second baseman to start them. Usually it's the third baseman or shortstop, but the way this rotation is set up, we've got a lot of ground ball pitchers on this staff, so that definitely bodes well.
Just inside to Sizemore. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The Rays come in now at 1 game over 500. They are still within 5.5 games of first place in the American League East. Another ball ripped foul by Sizemore. Rays and Baltimore flip-flopping in the standings due to last night's outcomes. The Rays, of course, losing to the Rangers. Baltimore in extra innings getting a win. Defeated the Oakland A's. And, Kevin Cash's club now trailing the Los Angeles Angels by still 2.5 games for that second wild card. And Jeff Bannister with Mike Mannix. Jeff Bannister's ball club turning things around here at home. We mentioned they've won 8 out of 9, and they are now within 5 games of 500 here at home this year. Just inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sizemore.
You know, they've really turned things around, playing well at home, and it looks good to me because most of the second half they're going to be playing games at home.
Yep.
So they needed to be able to turn it around and start winning ball games at home. Now it doesn't mean they can just start losing on the road. They need to keep that pace up too,
right.
winning on the road, but
right.
you know, turn it around and win more at home.
Yeah, and the last road trip, Mac, the 2-4 trip to Seattle and Minneapolis, I didn't think they played the same kind of ball they had played earlier in the year away from home, but it wasn't terrible. You know, it wasn't like they fell apart completely. It just they had a couple of pretty good pitching performances, didn't get timely hits necessarily, but you know, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and I think people tend to forget that, you know, the guys that they're playing against are major leaguers too.
Sure.
So you're going to run up against a good pitcher, you know, from time to time.
There is that Colby Lewis slider, got it down and into Sizemore, and that long at bat comes to a close, resulting in a Colby Lewis strikeout, 2 away.
Nice pitch by Colby. Goes with that slider down and in. It hits his spot. I know Sizemore thought he was right on it. But that slider of Colby's, when he could bury it in there like that, left-handers don't have much of a chance to hit that.
Oh, 2 up, 2 away. Now Evan Longoria. Longoria, team leader with 52 runs driven in for the Rays this year. And Longoria, throughout the years, has been a very good hitter against the Rangers. Over 300 in his major league career against Texas pitching. High in the air, hooked down the left field line. Hamilton over, but he's going to run out of room. Ball about 7 rows deep.
You know, there are certain guys that you just don't like to see come to the plate, whether they're men on base or not. Evan Longoria is one of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, at any time, he can pull out that long ball stroke, and if not, like he did last night, hit a 2-run gapper.
Yep. Into the hole, Elvis straightens up and fires. Got him. Oh, nice inning. 17 pitches for Colby Lewis to send the Rays down 1-2-3. We played a half inning. The Rays nothing. The Rangers coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. Matt's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Rangers lineup.
All right, leading off, Sluggers hit his first Major League home run last night. Delino DeShields to be in center field. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. He'll bat second. Prince Fielder's the DH and hit third. Cleanup hitters Adrian Beltre at third base. Mitch Moreland's established a career high 61 RBIs. He'll be at first base. Josh Hamilton's at left, batting sixth. Elvis Andrews, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Rougned Odor is going to be at second base and bat eighth. And Chris Jimenez, he started seventh the last 13 ball games behind the plate. He'll bat ninth.
And that lineup facing a 26-year-old right-hander from Clayton, North Carolina. Is Chris Archer. Well, he's got a fastball slider combination that's really second to none. It's way above average in the American League. And he uses that very effectively. He has an improving changeup. Rangers, when they have handled him well in the past, have done it by being aggressive. And we'll see how that plays out here tonight. Archer gets a strike. It is now 1-1 to Delino DeShields.
For a young pitcher, he's a guy that gets stronger as the game goes on. Typically, it takes a pitcher, 4, 5, 6 years before he establishes that. But Archer seems to be that guy. The longer he's out there, the tougher he becomes.
Well, the Rangers disposed of him pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, quicker than anybody else has this year. They faced off down in Tampa in the early part of May. He only went 3 1/3 innings. He did, however, have 8 strikeouts in those 3 1/3. It tells you what kind of stuff he had. But the Rangers treated him rather rudely and put up a handful of runs against him. That pitch outside, and Delino DeShields doing what he does pretty well: eyeball pitches that are off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Delino at .266. His first Major League home run last night. Shoots one to the right side, but right there is James Loney, and he takes it to the bag for out number 1. Loney, a very good glove at first base. One gone. Let's take a look at the rest of the Tampa Bay defense tonight. The outfield this evening, a little bit different than last night. Kiermaier still in center, Jennings in left. Sizemore is in right tonight. .985 fielding percentage for this defensive group, with Loney at first, Forsythe back at second, Cabrera and Longoria, with Rene Rivera catching. Here's Shin-Soo Choo, and he takes strike 1. Choo hitless in 2 official at-bats last night. However, he did work a couple of walks. .239 average, 14 home runs. To the gap in left center field. Long run for Jennings. He can't get there. And Kiermaier backs it up, but into second base with a 1-out 2-bagger is Shin-Soo Choo. And both Kiermaier and Jennings have great speed. And to get one in between them, you have to plug that gap just perfectly.
Yeah, you really do. Jennings is a center fielder by trade. He can play all outfield positions. So if you're going to get a ball in the gap between those two guys out there, you've hit a bullet. And that's exactly what Chu did. And that's when he's at his best, in my opinion, when he takes the ball the opposite way, driving it into the gap like he did here, got a fastball away, and didn't miss it. Drove it into the left field gap. Not a high fly ball, but a line drive, and that's what it's going to take. So I like seeing Chu being able to go the other way like that.
No, Chu now in scoring position for Prince Fielder. The first ball swing, that's a fair ball. Down to the right field corner. Chu around third will score. Fielder into second, the RBI double. And the Rangers lead it 1-0. Well, I think you can call that being aggressive.
That's exactly it. You were talking about it a minute ago. That's how they beat him the first time down in Tampa, being aggressive, going after anything that's around the plate. That very first pitch, Archer likes to use that fastball. He's got a good one. But when you're aggressive, you know, you can take a lot of that away. Prince gets a fastball a little up and in, and takes it, pulls it right down the line past Loney. That takes a little bit of doing because Loney could pick it over there. So Prince drives in the first run of the night.
A good-looking pair of doubles put back-to-back for the Rangers. They're on the board, and Adrian Beltre now will step to the plate. And there's the first breaking ball that Beltre sees on that first pitch. Adrian at 266, 9 home runs, 30 RBI. He hasn't had a whole lot of luck against Chris Archer over the years, just 1 for 11. Archer back to the plate. 0-2. Beltre questioning Eric Cooper just a bit. Is that going to be a strike all night?
I love how Beltre does it. He's always got that smile on his face. He doesn't want to get the umpire upset, but he wants to find out, you know, some information.
Now the 0-2. And Adrian says, fine, if you're going to call that high pitch, I'm going to go ahead and hack at it.
Hey, you got to know, hey, is that the top of the zone? And that umpire may say, you better swing. That lets you know, yes, it is.
Adrian on a pretty good roll of late. He snapped an 0 for 11 streak. And since then, he has gone 6 for 9. So that roller coaster right now going up to the pinnacle. Another 0-2 pitch from Archer.
Archer's tuning it up a little bit. His first couple of pitches of the ball game were around 92, 93 miles an hour. That one right there got a little in on Beltre at 96.
Now, you know, starters go out there and kind of ease into things. They ease into the first inning or two, and I think Archer got a wake-up call a little bit earlier than he'd been planning. He had back-to-back doubles and get down on the score all of a sudden. Well, maybe I better add a little bit to this and get it going quicker.
Turn this up a notch or two.
Yeah. Apparently, these guys in the other dugout decided they wanted to play here early. Prince Fielder with the RBI. That was his 69th of the year. He is in scoring position. And the 1-2 pitch. Adrian, and ask somebody else. You didn't see it, Eric. 2-2.
You know, you look at Beltre's numbers and you see the 30 RBIs. And it's not that he's having a bad year. He just doesn't have as many RBIs because the fella out there at second base is eating them all up. 69 RBIs on the year for Prince. Doesn't leave a whole lot left for Beltre to pick up.
A little looping one hopper out to Cabrera. That is out number 2. Fielder having to stay at second base. So he's there with 2 outs now for Mitch Moreland. Moreland, 17 home runs, 61 RBIs. So he is tied with Prince Fielder in home runs. And Mitch, the team leader in slugging percentage. Slugging percentage up over 500. And Prince, prior to his double tonight, had dropped down below 500. Mitch, though, having a very solid year, hitting at 295. Takes ball 1 from Archer. Now, the big thing for Mitch Moreland this year, and what he said his goal was to stay healthy and put in a full year. And for the most part, he's been able to do that. Had the stint where he couldn't get out there, but he is getting at the 90 game level right now. So he's pretty close to a full year, pretty close to fulfilling his goal. That check swing on a pitch down and in, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. He appealed down to Gabe Morales at third.
Yeah, I think one of the things Mitch wanted to show is what he can do when he's out there pretty much every day.
Right.
When he's healthy. I think I like what he's done.
Yeah. How much of a difference do you think it made to Mitch and his production when Prince Fielder basically said, hey, if Mitch is a better first baseman, that's fine. He can play out there. I'm happy being the DH to help this ball club win.
I think that took a lot off of him because, you don't want to feel like, hey, I'm taking the guy's position. He's played it his entire career. And, there might be some, animosity between the two. None whatsoever. Prince put it out there. Hey, he's a better first baseman. All DH, no big deal. Let's go win some ball games. I think that takes a lot of pressure off Mitch, just, wondering in the back of his mind. There is no doubt now. He just goes out there. He's the first baseman, and that's it. Prince gets out there occasionally, but Mitch Moreland is the first baseman.
3 balls and a strike. And I looked at that same thing too, Mac, from the standpoint of the rest of the guys in the clubhouse. When they saw that, all of a sudden, Prince Fielder's stock had to go up quite a bit.
There's no question about it, because what Prince is doing is he's putting winning first.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy does it better than me. That's fine. I'll hit.
Right.
We need to win. And Mitch has a very potent bat as well. So him being on the field instead of the two of them maybe splitting time, or Mitch not being out there or in the lineup as much, it's just better for the ball club.
And Mitch got the off-speed pitch on 3-1, fouled it off, so the count has gone full. Moreland trying to get Fielder home, but trying to get on base if he's not able to do that. And Josh Hamilton is ready in that on-deck circle. Rangers out in front here very quickly, 1-0. Back-to-back doubles by Chu and Fielder. Prince out at second base, establishing his lead. And Mitch Moreland hitting out of that slightly open stance. Prince getting himself loosened up and run a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Need that 60-yard sprint from here to home. Payoff pitch is low, and Moreland draws the walk. That'll get Hamilton to the plate. Good at bat by Mitch. There were several pitches there he could have had a hack at. They're not real hittable.
I like it when hitters take certain pitches, and you can tell when a hitter is in his groove and he's feeling good, because there's a way to take them and a way that you show that you're being fooled. You can't swing, but you can see that hitter was fooled. Mitch isn't having any of that tonight. He looks very, very locked in.
And here's a guy who looked real locked in last night, and hope he is tonight and for the rest of the season. Josh Hamilton with his 6th home run of the year last night. And you're right, Mac, you can apply the same thing to Hamilton. How he took pitches last night, and it told you that, hey, he's got an idea and he's going to the plate. He's disciplining himself until he gets the pitch that he wants, then he's turning it loose.
And he's really turning it loose. That's the thing. You can see the swings that he's having, even on foul balls now, whereas before he was kind of just flailing at them and not really able to do much with them.
Now Longoria takes that cue shot off the end of the bat and steps on third. That'll do it, but the Rangers get on the board. Chu and Fielder go back-to-back doubles. 1 run on 2 hits with 2 left. After 1, Rangers lead 1-0. Southwest Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself on an upcoming broadcast. That's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. We will show you our selection for tonight a little bit later on. Colby Lewis back to the hill with a 1-0 lead to protect. James Loney, Logan Forsythe, as Drupal Cabrera, the first three to do the swinging, and first ball swinging, James Loney will sky to Delino to Shields out there in center, so one pitch and one away. And before Logan Forsythe steps in, let's welcome in Jim Knox.
Oh, I appreciate it, Buzz. The Baseball Tomorrow Equipment Drive, sponsored by Academy and Fox Sports Southwest, ended today. Great response. Here's Honorary Chairman Mitch Moreland with a special message.
Hey, I just want to thank everyone for all your support and donations to the Equipment Drive this year. It's been great. And, I've done this for 4 years, and it just continues to get better and better. So I just want to thank the fans again. We couldn't do it without you.
Yes, indeed. Mitch Moreland is right. Congratulations to all the great Ranger fans helping out. And it was going to a well-deserved cause. Buzz?
All right, Doxy, thank you. Yeah, that's a great deal that Mitch has been a part of. And Rangers do so many things giving back to the community. And earlier, this was the presentation by Mitch Moreland and Jim Knox out there. Well, the equipment benefiting the local RBI programs. And the RBI National Tournament concluded today, too. A pair of championship ball games.
Very nice tournament, nice turnout. I know the kids have to be excited to be able to play, get an opportunity to play in a Major League stadium.
Logan Forsythe wasn't real happy about that slider he just saw from Colby Lewis. It turned him into a spectator. Colby gets his second strikeout.
Actually going to work on Forsythe. Started that slider inside. It broke back over the plate.
It's that front door slider.
That's a tough one to hit for a right-hander.
No, 2 outs. Rangers now with Asdrubal Cabrera coming up, going to an overshift. Cabrera, of course, the switch hitter, batting from the left side, and the Rangers have 3 infielders on that side of the diamond. Cabrera, hotter than any human should be. He has been hitting .500 since he came back into the lineup off the disabled list back on June 28th. Colby missing with ball 2 outside. Numbers overall for Cabrera, 265 for the year. That's up about 50 points. 7 home runs, 28 driven in. 2-1 on the foul ball.
.500 for almost 3 weeks. 27 for 54. That's doing some damage there. That's hard to do.
2-2 now. You saw Cole Hamels over there on the Ranger bench. He's going to start Monday night. Apparently he's been going through a couple of test outings in the bullpen. He's declared himself fit, so he'll start on Monday night against the Seattle Mariners here at the ballpark. Good to see him back going again. 3-2 as Cabrera takes one down and in.
It is. I think he's going to adjust to the American League, and I think he's going to do just fine. Anytime you've got a pitcher that caliber, they make adjustments pretty quickly. That's why you get to be a veteran pitcher.
Payoff pitch, check swing on the slider. It's off the plate for ball 4. Well, Cabrera showing you why he's been able to hit as well as he has, being able to take pitches like that.
I don't know how he took that. Don't know. Well, I guess he's hitting .500. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you, Colby Lewis, 9 times out of 10, a hitter's going to swing at that pitch. As close as it was on 3-2, he threw a nasty slider.
Yeah, we saw Sizemore go down to that pitch.
The 1-2 out, Desmond Jennings. He'll look at that slider too, but that one's taking a bite out of the outside corner. Jennings back in the lineup, had knee surgery. Got him out of the lineup for the better part of 3 months. Last night he broke back into the lineup with a 3-hit night. And Colby Lewis very quickly gets ahead of him. No balls and 2 strikes. Jennings for the year, a .254 hitter now. He was 3 for 4 last night. And if you go back to before his injury, he has a 3-game hitting streak. Delayed steal by Cabrera. And he is going to be in without a throw. I say a delayed steal. It was either that or he recognized the ball in the dirt very quickly.
Yeah, good base runners can do that. And what they do is they watch the flight of the ball as soon as it leaves the pitcher's hand. So when you're at first base or third base, you can see the angle if that ball is going to go down and hit the dirt. And very good base runners can take off before the pitch even crosses the plate because they know it's going to bounce. And typically, that catcher is going to go down and block the ball. He's not going to try and pick it and then make a throw to second base. He's just going to try and block it and keep it in front. So that runner, if he reads it quick enough, can make it to the next base.
Yeah, and I think looking at that replay that we had, you saw Cabrera off in an instant as soon as that ball was anywhere close to the dirt. A good job of reading it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jennings. Cabrera in scoring position. And call strike 3. Jennings thought about it, thought better of it. And Eric Cooper said, "No, you're gone anyway." No runs, no hits. The Walker left stranded after 1.5. Rangers by 1. Ford Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your Texas Ford dealer now to kick off the summer right. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Bottom third of the Ranger batting order to come to the plate here in the second inning. Elvis Andrus leading it off against Chris Archer. And Elvis takes strike 1. Rangers put together a couple of doubles by Chu and Fielder for a run in the first. Elvis, a .254 average. He has fared very well against Chris Archer. You can see the 4 for 9 lifetime for Elvis. Also has driven in a couple of runs against Archer. Archer with the breaking ball, and he picked the perfect time because Elvis was selling out for the fastball, it looked like.
Completely. And sometimes, against a pitcher like this, that's what you've got to do. You've got to pick one pitch and look for it. And if he's got another pitch that looks like it, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Elvis just poking it down the right field line. It's slicing, and it is foul. Just missed kicking up chalk. There's no way that Sizemore was going to get there in time to catch it. But Elvis, and he probably had a pretty good look at it going down that line as to whether it was going to be fair or foul. And Sizemore had to play it on a hop off the sidewall.
He's watching it and hoping.
Yeah. Elvis is saying to himself, stay fair, stay fair. That missed by about 6 inches or less.
Wow.
You can't blame it on the breeze. It's not exactly a gale out here tonight. 1-2 pitch. That will even the count. Elvis's last 27 home games been tearing it apart. 313. He got crossed up a little bit there, and by the time he decided, it was too late. Archer gets his first strikeout of the night. One away.
The second baseman, number 12,
Elvis is looking for a fastball. With Archer, you can't protect the plate on everything that this guy's got. He's got such great command and some quality pitches. So you've got to pick one or the other and look for it and go for it.
Now here's Rougned Odor trying to bunt his way aboard. And he bunts it back to the screen. It is 0-1. Yeah, we'll take a look at our Kubota power stats for tonight. Talking about Chris Archer, 191 strikeouts this year. That's third in the American League. He's had 7 starts of 10 or more strikeouts. And that is only 2 away from the Rays team record set by David Price. David Price now, of course, part of the Toronto Blue Jay juggernaut that lost again today. It's back-to-back games after an 11-game winning streak.
They're sliding.
Up the middle, right through Archer. I don't know how that didn't hit him. I guess he's so thin that he turned sideways and it missed him that way. Rougned Odor snaps an over with that blistered ball up the middle. He was over 10.
So is that as scary as it looks? But
yeah, it is. That one, I thought it was up a little bit higher than that. That's not quite as bad down there because you see the ball the whole way. Coming at your feet and say, oh, that hits me in the shin, it's going to hurt. That's about it.
You see, most hitters love hitting home runs. Don't get me wrong, I love hitting the few that I hit. But for me, a ball like that made the pitcher jump off the mound or you're just trying to get out of the way, that was a home run for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. Chris Jimenez bolsters one to center field. Kiermaier at the wall. Goodbye. Chris Jimenez with his second home run as a Ranger this year. The Rangers lead at 3-0.
Wow, how about that? I'll tell you what, the combination of Bobby Wilson and Chris Jimenez, they've been doing a terrific job swinging the bats, driving in runs, calling good games behind the plate. I don't think anybody expected both of these catchers when they brought them in a day apart that they were going to get this kind of offensive production.
In all honesty, I think if you'd asked the two of them, you wouldn't have expected it.
No, I mean,
both of them. Yeah,
they were brought in basically because they're good defensive catchers. Right. They call great games, and that philosophy of trying to get to Archer early, being aggressive. Jimenez gets a fastball up in the zone and drills it out in center field.
And now to dead center field. Delino to Shields chases Kiermaier back against the patty. Up goes to make the catch. Oh, Delino. And he said last night after the game, he said, look out now. I usually hit home runs a bunch. Got to kid you about that today. He got that by a few people in the clubhouse. I said, yeah, I just might do that. We'll have to wait and see. Go back to Chris Jimenez ambushing an Archer first pitch fastball.
That's great, taking advantage of a mistake. A high fastball up in the zone. Now, this is when you can tell that ball's going out. When you're watching that outfielder turn his back and you see his numbers, he's probably not going to catch it.
Yeah, last night, Kiermaier took that home run away from Prince Fielder, and he watched it the whole way. He had his eyes toward home plate.
Yeah,
he wouldn't turn around like that.
Yeah, when outfielders have when they're running after a ball and they're kind of turned to the side, looking over their shoulder, they're probably they've got a beat on it. They're probably going to catch it. But when they turn around and all you see is numbers, yeah, you've done what you were supposed to do.
Yeah. 2-1 to Chu, and the pitch inside. 3 balls and a strike. Chu got the scoring started as he doubled with 1 out in the first and Prince Fielder drove him home. Now here in the second, Chris Jimenez with a 2-run home run. She'll go on the other way again. That's going to slice into the corner and back into the seats or off the sidewall. Jennings running out of room.
You know, I'm not sure Archer really likes facing the Rangers. It's the second time he's given up 3 runs in just 2 innings.
Yeah.
And typically, you know, he's got the most starts with 1 earned run or less, with 13. And the most starts with no earned runs in 2015 with 8.
That's something. Very rarely is he off, but the Rangers have been on the giving end a couple of times against him this year already. And call strike 3. Chu headed to first, and he's got to make that right turn very quickly. That'll do it for the Rangers, but Chris Jimenez with his second home run of the year, a 2-run blast, gets the Rangers on the board again after 2. Texas 3, Tampa Bay nothing. The Rangers out on top 3-0, and Colby Lewis out there trying to throw up another 0, and Kevin Kiermaier, the number 8 hitter, leading things off for Tampa Bay. No balls, 2 strikes. Colby throwing a lot of strikes here in the early going, which is kind of his MO. Colby loves to go out there and pound the strike zone. He loves to do it with a lead too, and that's what the Rangers have given him here.
Yeah, it's great to get strike 1, but what Colby does, he does a great job of getting strike 2 and then getting him out pretty quickly.
Kiermaier at 245, 5 home runs, 26 driven in. Very speedy outfielder, and uses that speed on the base paths pretty well. He just doesn't get on often enough to really be a danger. Gets fisted here, and a little pop-up to Beltre. 1 gone.
Well, I hope he slows down. He should slow down by now. He fouled a ball off that foot last night and just did it again off of Colby. So hopefully that's going to slow him down a little bit.
Well, there's Adrian, and that reminds us that the first 15,000 fans for tomorrow's game will be treated to a Medical Center Arlington Adrian Beltre bobblehead. Join us and see the Rangers and the Rays finish up this series, and you can get your collectible bobblehead. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS for your tickets. Line drive off the bat of Rene Rivera down the left field line. Hamilton gets to it before it gets in the corner. Rivera on with a 1-out single. That is the first hit against Colby Lewis tonight. Rivera going up there swinging early in the count. Got a pitch to his liking.
A slider out over the plate, left it up in the zone.
Adrian going up that ladder, and you know, when he was younger, that ladder was a little bit taller.
Yes, it's a shorter ladder now, much shorter.
It doesn't hurt as much when you fall off it then. Second time that John Jaso has come to the plate. And he takes strike one on the breaking ball. Jaso out on a very good defensive play as he led the game off tonight. He had a rocket off the glove and off the wrist of Mitch Moreland, and Rougned Odor picked it up and got Jaso at first with Colby covering. Jaso on his second tour of duty with Tampa Bay. In between, he spent some time in Oakland. Very good job for the A's. Ran into some concussion problems as a catcher. Spent a significant amount of time on the concussion disabled list. Not sure he's ever really recovered from that enough to get back behind the plate very much.
No, I don't think he would want to get back behind the plate.
Yeah, I agree with you. Little chopper foul outside first. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, but then again, I'm really not understanding why any catcher wants to be a catcher, first of all.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I've got to think, though, you would be a little bit gun shy after you get 1 or 2 concussions about foul tips and start flinching. I'm amazed constantly at Robinson Chirinos, the number of foul tips he would take to the mask, and it never seemed to affect him as far as his ability to catch anyway.
Right.
There's a base hit by Jaso. He stayed with that off-speed pitch and shot it right back up the middle. So back-to-back singles, 2 aboard with 1 out for Grady Sizemore. And before Sizemore steps in, we're going to send it over to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break.
Grady Sizemore.
All right, Dana, thank you. So they are mortal after all.
Yeah, they are. They are. I think that's a pretty good time for them to become mortal.
Yeah.
They'll be rolling in here pretty shortly.
The next homestand, they will make an appearance. Fortunately, their only appearance of the year. And this year, that's a good thing.
I think we're going to miss that hot spell, so that's really, really good. Maybe they'll continue to lose.
Grady Sizemore went down swinging his first time, but he faced Colby tonight. Takes that pitch in at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sizemore recalled for the second time by the Rays this year on August 1st. Also spent the end of June, the first part of July with the Rays. Sizemore, as you may remember, battling all kinds of injuries the last several years. Just been a physical mess. It's been one thing after another for him.
You know, it's just a great story. I mean, this guy's battled back, was one of the best young players in the game a few years ago when he came up with Cleveland. Then got sidetracked with, you know, some injuries. They're pretty tough injuries. Young guy that can play great center field, cover just as much ground as anybody in the game. Good hitter, had power, speed. And, so it's great to see him back at the major league level, contributing and playing as well as he is.
3-time All-Star. Problem started with Cleveland. He had some elbow problems in the 2009 season and ended up having to have elbow surgery. Going the other way, that's going to slice back out of play. Came back from that, and then the very next year had to have microfracture surgery on his left knee. And that keeps you out for quite a while. That's not an easy thing, as Derek Holland would tell you, to come back from quickly. Then he had left knee surgery the next year. And to top that all off, 2 years after that, he had back surgery.
Incredible.
Check swing on the breaking ball that's just a bit low. And the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, that's a lot of rehab time, wondering if you're ever going to be able, number one, to play again, And am I ever going to be the same type of player that I was at the major league level if I do come back?
Colby with the 2-2 pitch. Full count. Colby not missing by much, but enough to have him run the count to 3-2. So Sizemore hitting second in the order. Be followed by the guy you don't want to see in a run-producing situation. That's Evan Longoria. Prefer a double play right about now.
This would be good. Started by our second baseman, Mr. Odor.
Yeah, since he's so good at it, you might as well let him start it. Yeah, Rivera at second, Jaso at first. So not great speed on the base pass. Colby and Chris Jimenez not able to get together on the decision-making process for the next pitch. Chris going out and say, okay, what is it you want to throw? Colby told him, fine, okay, we'll go with that. Breakdown for Colby. Now one more pitch in this inning. If you can get 2 outs on it, you'll be in good shape. Right-hander sets, payoff pitch. Up goes Moreland. There you go. That's not what I had in mind for the double play, but it worked. An unassisted double play turned by Mitch Moreland. And Colby Lewis and the Rangers out of the third. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. After 2.5, 3-0 Texas. For 7,500 kids, 13 and under, with a back-to-school backpack. Come on out to Globe Life Park. Watch the Rangers take on the Mariners that night and get your kid geared up for school. Tickets are available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Prince Fielder leading off the Ranger third inning. Chris Archer misses low with that first pitch. It is ball 1. Fielder, a double right down the first base line his first time up, driving in his 69th run of the year. That batting average now up to 326. Into left or right center field. Moving over is Sizemore, and he makes the catch. That ball down toward the end of Fielder's bat, so it didn't have the carry on it. Sizemore able to track it down. One away for Adrian Beltre.
Was just a little ahead on that breaking ball. Had a good swing on it. It's just a little too quick.
Beltre grounded out to short back in the first inning. 0 for 1 tonight, 265 the average. 1 ball and no strikes. Adrian 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. And again, right in the middle of a lot of good stuff happening for the ball club offensively. In the air to right field, Sizemore toward the line. That is out number 2. Well, 2 up, 2 away. Now Mitch Moreland.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
All of a sudden, Chris Archer now has retired the last 4 Rangers after he gave up the 2-run Chris Jimenez home run. Moreland drew a walk in the first inning. Mitch having a great August. He has hit safely in 9 of the 12 games that he's had this month, a .364 average. Takes ball 1. Mentioned he's leading the Rangers with that .508 slugging percentage. Also is second on the club in total bases and on base plus slugging to Prince Fielder. 2 balls and no strikes. Archer to the wind and gets a strike on the outer edge. And like most teams, Tampa Bay playing the extreme overshift to Mitch. Evan Longoria, the only Ray on the left side of the diamond. He's playing at a shortstop spot. And Moore says, fine, I'll take that. You throw it out there, and I'll take it the other way. That's a pretty nice piece of hitting.
Very nice piece of hitting. You know, it just baffles me when you have this extreme shift on that you even throw a guy away.
Yeah, well, you can't, honestly.
No.
Unless a guy is just, you know he's in a situation where he's going to try and pull the ball like he normally does. But, you know, a halfway decent hitter, and Mitch is better than a halfway decent hitter. He's a very good hitter. You keep throwing him outside, he's going to wear you out going that way.
I mean, chances are pretty good when you have one guy on a particular side of the infield of getting the base hit, hitting it that way.
Yeah.
You got some pretty bad luck if you hit it right at him.
Yeah, you got that right.
Either a great scouting report or something, but not very good luck.
Well, here's Hamilton. Josh tapped out to third, his first time up there. Pitch a bit low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Josh, as we mentioned last night, the big home run in his first at bat. He went 1 for 3, drove in a couple of runs, drove in the go-ahead run twice in last night's game. Fastball running inside to him, and Josh not able to make connections with it.
You know, there are a few guys in the game that when they swing, you just like to see them swing.
Yeah.
And when Josh is letting it fly like that, I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think he, over the last couple of weeks, he's really starting to let it go now.
Out of play to the left, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's go down to Emily.
And guys, you talked about yesterday the MRI that came back negative, and you talked about how much of a mental player Josh is, and he said once he knew that he couldn't do any further damage on that knee, mentally it freed him up to be relaxed at the plate. You saw the night that he had last night, but it just goes to show, what a little mental clarity will do for you.
Thanks, Em, and Josh gone and swinging. That is strikeout number 3 for Archer. Rangers strand a runner. After 3, Rangers 3, Rays nothing.
RBI World Series championship game took place. Now afterwards, both teams, along with Pudge of the Rangers, Chi-Chi, and Adam Rosales, they took part in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. They were challenged by the Twins, and those guys had a lot of fun. They accepted that challenge and did a great job. And afterwards, the Pudge and everyone else challenged the Padres. All I could say is I wish I could have had a good part in all that fun. Buzz, that was very, very, very nice. Thanks, Fritz. So we had some fun. Okay, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Buzz?
He wants some dumb spice on it. That microphone will never be the same.
It will not.
Evan Longoria starting off the fourth inning for Tampa Bay, down to the count 0-2. Colby trying to get an offer at that slider. He would not do it. Longoria had a ground ball to short back in the first inning. Colby avoided having to face Longoria in a dangerous situation by getting a double play in the third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned Longoria, better than a .300 career average against the Rangers. He's also had 10 home runs and 39 RBI in 34 games against Texas. So not just hitting for average, but doing damage.
You know, I was talking about it last half inning with Josh up about a guy swinging the bat. You know, there's certain guys that you like to see them just swing. This is one of those guys that I really like to see swing, but against other teams, because he looks pretty locked in right now.
Yeah, there are not a whole lot of good memories about Rangers facing him in tight situations.
No.
Colby back again with a payoff pitch. Lost him. Well, there's the second walk of the game issued by Colby. And Colby, one of the lowest walk rates in the American League coming into play tonight. Longoria leads it off by reaching, and now James Loney will come up. Colby among the league leaders with 1.66 walks per 9 innings this year. That puts him in 4th place in the American League. Also 8th in fewest pitches per 9 innings, just over 15. 15.2 to be exact. Loney, a fly ball to center field on the first pitch he saw tonight. He's hacking at both pitches he's seen. Didn't make contact with that one. No balls and a strike.
I think he was looking for something else on that one.
Loney at 268, 4 home runs, 22 driven in. Pulls this one softly to right field. Chu, plenty of time to come in after it. Out number 1. Now Logan Forsythe will be next. Folks, a quick reminder that Texas high school football is just around the corner. Fox Sports Southwest is teaming up with Dave Campbell's Texas Football to bring you the most comprehensive coverage of highlights and scores from across Texas every Friday night throughout the season. Join us every Friday starting at 7 p.m. on August 28th on Fox Sports Southwest Plus. Logan Forsythe caught looking at a 3rd strike. Colby froze him with a slider. Lewis with 3 strikeouts tonight. Forsythe, the .277 average. And he has seen a lot of those sliders. Hasn't really enjoyed looking at any of them yet.
I don't think there's much else he could do.
Yeah.
But look at him.
You ever find somebody like that where you just never were able to distinguish the pitches he was throwing? A guy would keep throwing you whatever it was, a tailing fastball or a big breaking ball or something. You couldn't do anything about it?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I had a lot of those guys.
No.
But I think the worst one was Mark Gubiza.
Uh-huh.
I just had no clue. It was like I went up there with, I don't know, a plastic bat or something. Because every time I very rarely put one in play.
And I got one hit off of him, I think maybe 30, 35 at bats.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake because well, we were in Kansas City, and can't remember who was playing first, but it went off of his glove. He should have made the play, and they gave me a hit.
Okay. Well, at least you didn't get an offer.
I did not get an offer for once against him.
Did you ever figure out what it was that you didn't particularly care about picking his pitches up, or couldn't, I should say?
I couldn't pick up any of them. I had no idea. It was like he was thrown, 5 feet in front of me. I have no clue whatsoever. Early in my career with a few other guys, they were pretty good. Frank Viola and Bert Blyleven.
Yeah.
They have a lot of highlight reels of them, pitching. A lot of those strikeouts I was on. We'd go into Minnesota, and inevitably we were facing those two guys. They were going to be, we were going to see them. And that was pretty much an 0 for 8, probably about 6 punch-outs for me.
Now, there were a few guys in that category. Those were 2 pretty good ones that the Twins could throw back-to-back at you.
But that's pretty bad when you're, one day you're hitting right-handed, you have 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs. The next day you're 0 for 4 with 3 more punch-outs on the other side.
Pitch pulled foul by Asdrubal Cabrera, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, and you go back, I'm sure during your playing time you saw it a lot. Forget about yourself, but watching other people, you say, how can that guy not get a base hit off you? Everybody's pounding a particular pitcher, and then all of a sudden there's one person that stands out on your team that couldn't hit him if he had a tennis racket.
You get 20 hits on the night, and there's one guy in there is 0 for 5.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, hey, somebody's got to make the out so the game gets over with.
That's right. That's right.
That was always my excuse when I was that guy. Hey, somebody had to get us out of here. Somebody owes me dinner, because if I was getting hits, we'd still be playing.
A team player.
Right.
Cabrera drew a walk his first time to the plate. And Colby backdoors the slider. And Cabrera, in disgust, is gone. Colby with 4 strikeouts. To the leadoff, Walker is stranded. Longoria left tied up at first. 3.5 in the books. It's the Rangers 3 and the Rays 0. Next Dollar Hot Dog Day is coming up on this coming Wednesday. That's August 19th. Rangers taking on the Seattle Mariners. Head on out to the ballpark. It's a midday matinee and have a tasty lunch of Dollar Hot Dogs. Visit TexasRangers.com for tickets, or you can call 972-RANGERS if you prefer. Ladies are a little camera shy.
A little shy out there, aren't they?
That's all right. Elvis Andrus going after the first pitch from Chris Archer. A fly ball to Jennings in left field as he goes back to close to the warning track. Elvis a long fly for out number 1.
You can definitely tell the Rangers' philosophy tonight. Try to get to Archer early, be very aggressive, attack whatever he throws up there. But I think Archer's kind of caught on to that, especially after being ambushed in that first inning.
Yeah, he started throwing a lot more off speed early in the count, and probably a good idea. Chris Jimenez, though, got him the last time up. Had Rougned Odor on base, did Jimenez, and Rougned trying to get on base again. Odor shot one right back through the middle with 1 out in the second inning. Nothing in 2. Archer starting to employ that straight changeup a little more frequently too, which is probably a good idea. You get guys that are looking fastball all the way, and you just soon be able to pull the string a little bit from time to time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then remind him about what the ball looks like when it's up. 1-2 pitch. That was a pretty good job by Archer to work over Rougned Odor.
The catcher, Chris Jimenez.
So 2 gone. Here comes Chris Jimenez, and we're going to take you back. The AT&T Uverse Rewind. First pitch that Jimenez saw from Archer with Rougned Odor on in the second. Out to Greens Hill. And the dancing fan out there, the home run retriever. Jimenez with his second home run as a Ranger this time. Longoria takes care of that ground ball, and Archer has a very quick 1-2-3 inning. Rangers gone in order after 4 complete. It remains the Rangers 3 and the Rays nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Colby Lewis driving the bus tonight, doing a pretty good job putting up zeros. Rangers with 3 on the board early. Colby has made that stand up. He'll face the bottom third of the Rays order, and Desmond Jennings, a ground ball up the middle. Odor, a high throw, and pulls Mitch off the bag. And Jennings is going to reach. Now, we've seen Odor make that play quite often, and that one just got away from him a little bit.
It did. Odor got to it really well. Nice backhand on the run. You see him coming around. He's playing up the middle already. It kind of, I guess he kind of just launched it a little bit.
Yeah.
typically he makes that play. That one just got away a little bit.
It's going to go as a base hit, and you can understand why. That's not an easy play by any means. So 1 on, nobody out. Kevin Kiermaier, who popped out his first time, steps to the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. More look at that.
Yeah, we'll do a couple steps on the right side of the bag on the second base side. Comes across, and he's going completely the other way from first base. So nice effort.
I would think, Mac, on that is a big part of that, getting your body in the right position to make that throw?
Well, for me, it was the arm angle.
Okay.
What I like to do on that play, anytime I'm going away from first base like that, I'd like to come from underneath, because then I get that sink on the ball. And that gives my first baseman an opportunity to catch it. So it's not going to go up high. It's always going to be coming down. So obviously I don't want it too low, because then it's going to bounce. But if you come up, you see Odor come up to the side there, that ball's going to pretty much stay on the same plane. So that's why it pulled Mitch off the bag. But if you get that loop to it, then it's going to come down, and he has an opportunity to stay on the bag.
Gotcha. 3-0 pitch, and that is on the outer edge. Kiermaier taking all the way. 3 balls and a strike.
Those are the things that you learn over time.
Sure.
It just takes repetition. That's pretty much what it's all about. And he'll be able to do it. There's no question. And typically he makes that play.
Could be 2. Odor, Andrews, Moreland not in time. Well, anybody with Kiermaier or anybody hitting from the right side of the plate, that's a double play.
Kiermaier looks like hitting a couple of foul balls off that foot hasn't slowed him down a bit. He got down that line pretty good. And Odor starting that double play, he's in fairly shallow. And he knows that Kiermaier can run. So if the ball is going to be hit to him, he's got to be up a little bit closer to get the ball a little bit sooner. But not much more they can do there. Gives Elvis a perfect feed. Elvis gets something on the throw. But Kiermaier, hey, just a little bit too fast.
Oh, Kiermaier exchanging places with Desmond Jennings. 1 out. Rene Rivera had a base hit to left his first time. This one slowly tapped towards short. Elvis has only 1 play. That's the first. Rivera, who does not run well, an easy out. In the scoring position is Kiermaier, but he's there with 2 outs for the top of the order.
Designated hitter John Jaso.
It's a great shot from our roaming RF camera up the far reaches above the home run porch. That's out atop the scoreboard out there, or atop the wind curtains out in center field. Great look back at the ballpark. And our RF camera roaming all over the place. They give you some shots at Globe Park you'll never see sitting here. I guarantee you that, unless you're up where that was, and there's no seat up there.
Buzz, that's a little too high. It's just a little too high.
I'm right there with you. Some nights from here down to the deck, 10 feet's a little too high. The upper level, that's our live roaming camera. That's going all over the ballpark with that. That's great. 0-1 the count to Jaso. Jaso has had a single in 2 trips. Rangers shading him to the right side. Colby misses down and in. Elvis, see, favoring the middle of the diamond. Odor cutting the hole down between first and second. Jaso with that base hit, now hitting at 329. 2-1.
Looking at the alignment right now, the Rangers have made an adjustment. Elvis is more up the middle. The last 2 hits that Jaso's had have gone right back up the middle. Was hit in last night's ball game, and then it's hit earlier in the game tonight. So the Rangers have made a little bit of an adjustment, put Elvis closer to the middle. So if Jaso hits it there again, Elvis has a chance to make this play.
Nice stop by Jimenez.
That's really what you have to do at the major league level. You've got to make adjustments. If a guy's hitting the ball in a particular area, you may want to shade a little bit more, in that direction. Even though the scouting report says otherwise, you've got to go with what's going on right now.
Right. Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all for defending guys or even pitching to him. Elvis dives and he picks the ball. Now they've got to play at the plate. The throw is there in time. Safe at home plate as the tag was missed. Kiermaier sliding around the tag by Chris Jimenez and in to score. Ball came out of Chris Jimenez's glove as he was making the tag. He never really had control of it there. Ball hit him on the heel of the glove, and Chris never could get a handle on it.
Oh, wow. Perfect. Right there, and he would have been out.
Yep.
Now, I was just talking a minute ago about the adjustments that the infield made. Elvis made that adjustment and was able to get to that ball.
Yeah, a two-hopper to Odor, and that's going to do it for the Rays. They do get on the board, though. They get a run on 2 hits and leave 1. We're halfway through the ball game. It's now the Rangers 3 and the Rays 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Throwback giveaway. First 15,000 fans, 14 and older, will get a Giovanni Gallardo powder blue t-shirt. Thanks to Dr. Pepper, Albertsons, and Tom Thumb. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. Well, the Rays score a run in the top of the 5th inning. They have cut the Ranger lead down to 3-1 now. And top of the Ranger order, Delino to Shields here in the bottom of the 5th. Delino, last time up, hit a rocket to center field, pushed Kevin Kiermaier all the way back to the wall, up against the padding to haul in his blast. Delino 0 for 2 tonight. Rangers 3 runs on 5 hits against Chris Archer. And the pitch outside, 3-0. Well, Archer, who has walked only 1, that was back in the 1st inning, in danger of putting Delino aboard to start this 5th. And the pitch is in at the knees. DeShields, we mentioned it last night, moving up the list of Ranger leaders for walks. He's 3rd on the team now with 36 base on balls this year. And he takes ball 4, make that 37. A leadoff walk, and that usually is a recipe for disaster if you're Chris Archer against this Ranger offense. Now before Chu steps in, let's send it over to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Pitch outside the shoot. 37 runs in 2 games. That's that may be more than Boston has scored in a month.
I was just thinking that's a lot of scoring in 2 days. Takes most teams about 2 weeks to get that.
Yeah. King Felix. 10 runs in 2 1/3.
Yeah, you just don't think those two go together.
No.
And they don't very often. I think that's only the second time he's given up 10 runs.
In 10 years.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Shin-Soo Choo doubled back in the first, scored the first Ranger run. Last time up, he struck out. 1-0 the count as Archer's checking the Shields. High and away, 2 balls, no strikes. This is where having the speed on the base paths with what Delino takes out there really starts to play with the mind of a young pitcher. 26 isn't young, but Chris Archer, relatively inexperienced. This is just his 3rd year of the big leagues. Fires a strike. And we've talked about it before, Mac, too, about dividing your attention. We'll take a look, first of all, at our Ford leaderboard. Stolen bases, the Shields 5th in the league right now with 19. Altuve leads the way with 31. Billy Burns, Lorenzo Cain, Gerard Dyson. There goes Delino. The pitch is high. The throw is in time. Oh, what a throw by Rene Rivera. And he's made a habit of throwing out opponents' base runners. He's close to 50% now in the last several weeks.
That was pretty quick.
That was
very impressive. Delino gets a pretty good jump, but Rivera, wow, comes up and throws a strike. Reminds me of a guy sitting down there in that front row that I used to catch him from.
And Choo draws the walk. So back-to-back walks. The caught stealing, however, removing Delino to Shields.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, Rivera now has thrown out 12 of his last 23 base stealers. It's just a bit over 50%. Started the season just 2 for 14. And since then, he's been over that half-century mark. Here's Prince swinging through that first offering from Chris Archer. Fielder an RBI double right down the first baseline his first time up. 1 out of 2. Also had a fly ball to right. Archer a check of first. And Fielder now down on the count, 0-2. Archer starting to get that breaking ball in play at will virtually.
Well, hopefully it's too late.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. The longer he stays in, the better he gets.
Jam shot looper to left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Well, one thing about Prince, if he's not in pull mode, he is such a strong man. You can make a perfect pitch inside and not get him. He's able to muscle that thing to the outfield. Another multi-hit game for Prince Fielder. That's number 46 for the year.
Wow, that cannot feel good for a pitcher. Get a guy 0-2, and then he does that. But like you said, when he's not in pull mode, he will use the entire field.
Yep.
And that's exactly what enabled him to get that hit there.
So Choo advancing to second. First and second now for Adrian Beltre. Well, there are just some guys in certain situations you can't afford to try and jam. It's not going to turn out well for you.
No.
And I think Prince is one of those guys. Usually it's a big, strong guy like Fielder, but it also has to be a very good hitter who can make adjustments on the fly. And that's what Prince does so well. That's what he's done so well this year. He'll go from being willing to pull the ball, try to hit the ball in the seats, to, I'll just take what you're gonna work with, and inside out a ball. Beltre, a shallow pop fly into left center field. Long run in for Jennings, and on the run, Desmond Jennings makes the grab for out number 2. It'll be up to Mitch Moreland if the Rangers are to do some damage here in the 5th inning. Mitch tonight has singled and walked. He is charging back toward that 300 mark. He's at 297 as he steps to the plate here. Moreland now has hit safely in 10 of the 13 games in August in which he's played. First pitch to him is low for ball one.
You know, we've been talking all game about teams making adjustments with their defense based on what the hitter's doing that particular night, as opposed to just sticking to the scouting report. Mitch hit a ball to the left side for a single his last time up with Longoria, the only one on the left side of the infield. Well, they brought Longoria back over, you know, he's way off the line for the left-hander, but you also have Cabrera up the middle as opposed to being on the second base side of second base. Now, there is a runner at second base, so you've got to adjust it that way, but I also think they're making that adjustment because they don't want to leave one guy on that side of the infield.
That's a good point. Archer's been able to get a couple of fastballs at the knees. 4 strikes. It's 1-2 to Mitch. Moreland has been one of the better Ranger hitters with runners in scoring position, especially since early June. He's hit .365 in these situations. Rivera able to block that ball and keep it close enough to home plate that Shin-Soo Choo couldn't try to advance.
Nice block by Rivera. That hard breaking ball. Be able to get down and block it. Keep Choo and Prince right there at their spots.
Well, the count goes even now, 2-2. Archer okays the sign. He will check second. Slowly hit to first. Loney at the bag, steps on first. That will do it. Rangers get a hit, a couple of walks, and strand 2. We've finished 5 innings at Globe Life Park. It's the Rangers 3 and the Rays 1.
I'm here with a brief pitching update for you on Derek Holland. He is doing his best to get back here to Arlington as quickly as possible, completing his 4th rehab assignment yesterday in Round Rock through 89 pitches and then 10 more in the bullpen. Apparently sent Jeff Bannister a text message that said, knock, knock. Banny replied, what's up? He said, I'm at the door. Will you let me in? His way of saying he is ready to come back to the big league club. We'll see if team officials agree with Derek. He would be slated to come back on Wednesday if he were to return here to the big league level. That's still up for debate if he's going to come here or have one more rehab start on the minor league level, guys.
All right, Dan, we thank you. Evan Longoria starting off the sixth inning. Longoria 0 for 1 tonight. Has grounded to short and walked. Colby Lewis gave up a run in the fifth inning. Actually kind of manufactured by the speed of the Rays. Kiermaier able to score from second base on an infield single. And that wouldn't have happened if Chris Jimenez had been able to hang on to a throw that he'll catch 999 times out of 1,000. I'm sure Chris would tell you that. Full count to Longoria. Payoff pitch. Delino to Shields. Ambling over to his right in a few steps. Out number 1.
It's a big out right there anytime you get Longoria out, especially leading off the inning. Last time around, Longoria led off with a walk. Colby was able to work his way out of that. A couple of fly balls and a strikeout.
No, Colby now will go to work on James Loney. Colby at 87 pitches, as you saw in our Fox box there. Last time out, Colby in the complete game threw 104 pitches in 8 innings. Loney tonight has flied out to center, flied out to right. First time he's taken a pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Good breaking ball. That evens the count.
Wow, that's a nice breaking ball right there. Anytime a guy swings at a pitch that almost hits him, I think you can say he got fooled a little bit.
2-1. Loney hasn't been fooled much in the month of August anyway. He's hitting .353 in the 10 games in August that he's played in. 2-1 pitch from Colby. And that's one reason right there. Pitch in the outer part of the plate, just takes it right back up the middle. So 1 on, 1 out for Logan Forsythe. Well, folks, most Sundays feature kids promotions this year at Globe Life Park. And on Sunday, August 30th, the first 7,500 kids 13 and under will receive a Shin-Soo Choo blue batting helmet. That's sponsored by Dairy Queen. Head on over to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. Forsythe has seen a lot of those.
And missed a lot of them.
Yeah, he has. He got caught looking at one in the second inning. That was his first time up. Last time up, kind of a lazy fly ball to right field. Colby has fed him a steady diet of breaking balls. 1-1 the count. Forsythe hitting at .276. Saw him start at first base last night. Normally a second baseman, which is where he is this evening. Takes that pitch low. You go back over the ranks of second baseman in the American League, or in the major leagues, as a matter of fact. He's third in RBI. He's third in home runs and fourth in on-base percentage. So he is putting up some middle infield numbers that are pretty impressive. Eric Cooper pointing at him said, yeah, you did swing. I saw it. 2-2. I don't think Logan Forsythe agreed.
No, I don't think he did either. Hey, but I agree with Coop.
Yep.
Nice job. Nice call.
Colby set again. Left center field. Delino to Shields on his horse into the alley. Makes the catch. He just simply outran that ball to the track. Nice play by Delino.
Shortstop as duel.
2 gone.
Talk about getting on your horse.
That's a thoroughbred, too.
Oh, look at him. He's already lined up that way. Great jump. Oh, he was barely running. Calling for the ball. I like that. You don't know if your left fielder is going to be there or not, but just in case, you got to let him know, hey, I've got it under control. Stay out of the way.
Well, that is out number 2, and Delino makes this center field look reasonably sized.
He does with that quickness out there. And remember, this is a converted second baseman.
I think it was a pretty good conversion.
Yeah, I kind of like the conversion.
Yeah. Well, Asdrubal Cabrera 0 for 1 tonight with a walk and a strikeout. Rangers again in the overshift with Rougned Odor out in right field a long way. No balls, 2 strikes. Rougned out there. You can turn around and shake hands with Shin-Soo Choo if he wants to. Cabrera called out on strikes in the 4th inning. Lewis back to him. Kind of a defensive swing by Cabrera to stay alive. Cabrera with at least 1 hit in each of his last 3 games. 3 for 4 in last night's contest. Go back to the middle of June, including the time that he spent on the disabled list. But his last 37 games, he's hit .373. That one yanked foul and almost knocked a couple of the Rangers right off the top rail.
Can you imagine that ball going in the dugout when those rails used to be there, all that netting?
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, because I was one to sit on the bench and not even pay attention. Yeah, balls whizzing by my head all the time. Yeah, it got a little dangerous. And a cue shot foul. And Cabrera still up there, no balls and 2 strikes.
I'm trying to think of the stadium, fairly new ballpark, where the dugouts are so, really, really close to home plate. I want to say it's a National League park. I remember when that came online that there were a lot of complaints because there was not enough time to react.
Yeah. Down and in, a ball and 2 strikes to Cabrera. Right, most of the stadium now do have the protective screens in front, which is a great idea.
Yeah, I can't think of one that doesn't.
Sam Freeman starting to loosen in that Ranger bullpen. Colby at 102 pitches for the night. He has 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Cabrera, the appeal down to 3rd, and no swing, says Gabe Morales. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nope, didn't go. That's pretty much what most hitters do. They don't want to look at that third base umpire or first base umpire, whichever side it is. I know I never like looking at him because I probably win. So you don't want to see him ring you up.
Yeah. Another pop foul that will reach the seats. Cabrera had a long at bat against Colby Lewis. Colby throwing strikes, Cabrera fouling them off. Would imagine this would be Colby's last man either way. He's gotten up to 104 pitches and he's had to throw 23 in this inning. Well, you would think that no matter how Cabrera is disposed of, that Sam Freeman would probably be asked to come in. Another 2-2 pitch coming. Colby making a habit now in this at bat, rubbing up new baseballs. Colby has fared well this year in this ballpark. He's 5-1 His previous 11 starts at Globe Life Park this year. I'll just let you know when it isn't a foul ball.
That might be better. How's that for you, Buzz, when a guy's just fouling pitches off, no matter what you're throwing, off speed, fastball, doesn't matter, in, out, up, down, he's still fouling them off.
That's frustrating. If I get the point where say, here, hit the thing, unless it's a game situation, you just want the guy to do something. Either get on or get out of there. Get this thing over with. That one just missed. Colby staring in at Gary Cooper momentarily. I think he wanted that one. So let's run the count full now, and with 2 outs, Loney will be off and moving.
Wow. That's right there.
Pitch number 11, and that had part of the bottom of the strike zone. Loney on the move, payoff pitch.
He's throwing a whole inning to one batter.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless he can figure out a way to pick Loney off, he's going to have to use 13 pitches at least to get rid of Asdrubal Cabrera. Crowd now getting into this, trying to get behind Colby.
Wow.
At some point in time, you say, hey, wait a minute. The bad part is Cabrera represents a tying run in this game. And as hot a hitter as he is, you can't just say, I'm going to get rid of him somehow. He's not going to go away. Our Fox tracker only goes up to 12 in its numbering system.
I never do that.
We don't have. I didn't either. But that's what I've been informed of.
We got to start using our fingers now.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the stormtroopers keeping an eye on things. He's about ready to find his Imperial Walker and get going.
I know Cabrera's got to be tired. He's taken 2 rounds of BP at just this point back.
Another 3-2. Lined it to right. Here comes Chu. And Aston go down to his knee to grab that one. That will do it. So Colby in a 15-pitch at bat gets Cabrera out. And the Rays are gone in the 6th. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. After 5 1/2, 3-1 Rangers. Inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,100 in dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, David Alfaro from Fort Worth will win $1,100. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, David's going to take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Josh Hamilton leading off the Rangers' sixth inning. Hamilton 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Chris Archer back to the plate. 1-1. Josh, an even 250 now as he faces Archer for the third time. Ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton with 3 home runs in his last 11 games, and that's after hitting 3 in his last 26 prior to that. Chops one to the left side, diving stop by LaGoria, and he can't get the throw to first base accurately. And Hamilton's aboard with an infield single.
Well, nice piece of hitting by Josh. Just up there battling, gets a backdoor slider. Hits it to the left side, and they're in an extreme shift against Josh. Longoria dives for it, but can't get off a good throw over to first. Josh beats it out.
Well, that's some kind of hands down there at third base to knock the ball down and then play the short off with your bare hand. That's something. Former Gold Glove third baseman Evan Longoria. Now 1 on, nobody out. Here's Elvis. 1 ball, no strikes. A little calling card for Chris Archer. Elvis a strikeout, a fly ball to pretty deep left field. Mentioned last night, the Rays and Rangers in this ballpark have played just about dead even. There's a drive well hit to left field. Going back is Jennings at the wall. It's off the wall. Hamilton got a great read, so he's able to cruise into third easily. Into second with a long double, Elvis Andrus. And again, Elvis pulling a bolt to left.
Another drive by Elvis. Looks like that leg kick is really helping him out. He's been driving the ball over left field, over the left fielder's head, over the center fielder's head. And he's got a few home runs doing it as well. He's looking for that fastball. He finally got one and drilled it.
You see Archer's reaction. I thought Archer thought that ball was out.
Yeah, I think Elvis thought it was out too. I was just hoping it got over Jennings' head.
No, an infield single and a booming double. Second and third, nobody out. Infield playing all the way in with Rugnet at the plate. Odor, 1 out of 2, a single and a run scored. Little chopper to third. Longoria has 1 play, that's the plate, and Hamilton is a dead duck. That was probably the only play that Longoria was going to have that was relatively easy. Hamilton going on contact. Now the Rangers with runners at first and third and 1 out.
Odor didn't get the pitch that he wanted. Got jammed a little bit, it looks like, and Longoria playing in along with the rest of the infield. Josh going on contact. Not much chance to get there on that. Nowhere to go.
Well, now Elvis at third, Odor at first. Chris Jimenez 1 for 2 with a 2-run home run. That came back in the second inning. That's the last time the Rangers were able to score off of Archer. Put him in serious jeopardy here in the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, the Rangers have utilized the safety squeeze in this situation before. Got Elvis down at third, very adept at reading balls off the bat. Back in the second inning. But Elvis very adept at reading the ball off the bat. We'll see if Jimenez might have that in mind again. Fouls that next pitch off.
Yeah, I like the safety squeeze, especially with a guy that can run the bases like Elvis down there at third base. He can read the ball really well. He's fast, quick. So I like that safety squeeze.
One thing I probably have to bear in mind is that both Longoria and Aloni very good defenders. So anything that's not a pretty good bunt is going to be problematic. Archer a long hold. He's going to see what Odor and Andrews are up to.
Yeah, this could be a situation where the Rangers are going to try and steal a run by having Odor go and maybe stop halfway.
He's on the move. The pitch is lined to left center, a base hit. Elvis scores. Odor being held up at third. A hit run, base hit for Jimenez. He drives in his third run of the night, and the Rangers lead it 4-1.
Archer trying to go with a breaking ball, left it hanging up. Jimenez jumps all over it. Hit and run. See Odor going on the play. Comes around to third. Drives in Elvis from third base.
Well, the Rangers now 4 runs on 9 hits. They have gotten to Chris Archer again, and except for Archer working out of a 2-on, 1-out jam last time, they have scored pretty much at will every time they've gotten the people on base. Delino to Shields now an opportunity to do some damage. Delino 0 for 2. He drew a walk last time up. You got Odor at third, Jimenez at first. Again, the Tampa infield playing all the way in. Check swing on the pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Delino coming out of his shoes on that one, 1-2. Shields has grounded out tonight. Fly deep to center field, to the wall in center field. And drew the walk. Rangers 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors this evening. They have runners at first and third. Just 1 out here in the 6th inning, a run across. Looper out to right center, that's in for a base hit. Odor scores. Jimenez stops at second. Delino to Shields with the RBI single. It is a 5-1 Ranger lead. Part of the risk of playing the infield all the way in is that it opens you up for bloopers like that. Rangers will certainly take it.
Will, great job by DeShields. Pitch before, came out of his shoes, which that's not really his game. Stays on this breaking ball. Dunks it into the outfield. Scores Odor from third base.
The Rangers with 4 hits in the inning, 2 runs scored. And Chu takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. Chu tonight has walked, struck out, and doubled. His double came in the 1st inning. He crossed home plate with the first Ranger run of the night. A ball and a strike. The Rangers doing some damage against the guy in Chris Archer, who's been pretty stingy this year. Archer came in with the 5th best ERA in the American League. That's in the dirt. Rivera had a little trouble finding the ball, but it was right down at his feet. 2-1. Rangers, with an exception of the 3rd and 4th innings, when they had just 1 base runner, put the pressure on Chris Archer here tonight, right from the get-go. Jimenez at second. The liner to Shields at first. Base hit to center field. Jimenez being waved around. Here comes the throw from Kiermaier. It is not in time. Shue with the RBI single. 6-1. Rangers.
Rangers are piling it on now. Anything close to the strike zone, they typically get fastballs to hit. Jimenez got a hanging breaking ball and got an RBI single, and Shue follows him up. Another single. This is going to chase Mr. Archer.
Yeah, that's going to do it for Chris Archer, who is charged with 11 hits tonight, 6 runs so far. He'll leave with 2 runners aboard, his responsibility, and that is the shot off the bat of Shue that drives Archer from the game. You see Archer drop his head immediately. He knew where that was headed. And Chris Jimenez scoring the run from second base. So 5 1/3 innings for Chris Archer, and he is gone. Rangers have gotten to him and driven him from the ball game. Yates coming on. We'll tell you about him when we come out. We'll come back right after this timeout on Fox Sports Southwest.
In Arlington, and just like the last few nights, Jeff Bannister got to be happy with what he's seeing from his lineup.
The games that we just played, the last 2 games, they build grit, and they build that confidence also that if you do get down that you can come back, something that we were challenged with earlier in the year, and in the middle part of the season we found a way to do that. We found a way to jump out front, but hey, if we know now if we get behind that we can come back, and it's part of our arsenal. And so what helps these guys do is stay focused, stay relaxed, and don't panic.
And they always say hitting is contagious, and that appears to be the case with this offense tonight and over the last couple of games, guys.
All right, Emma, yeah, it sure does. You're right about that. 1 ball and no strikes to Prince Fielder. Kirby Yates, 28-year-old right-hander, born in Hawaii. He still lives in Hawaii, as a matter of fact. One of 39 major leaguers to have been born in the 50th state. Facing Prince Fielder, who is 2 for 3 tonight. Rangers with 3 runs across here in the 6th have opened up a 6-1 lead. Pretty good change from Yates. Kirby Yates in his 11th ball game for Tampa Bay. Another inflated 771 earned run average in 9 1/3 innings. Opponents hitting a lofty 341 against the right-hander. The liner to Shields at second, Shin-Soo Choo at first. Runners on the move. The pitch is a strike. The throw not in time. A double steal pulled off by DeShields and Choo.
Wow, the Rangers are being very aggressive, not just at the plate, but on the bases as well. I like seeing that. We've had a hit and run this inning. Had an attempted safety squeeze. Wasn't the pitch for it. Now we've got a double steal by DeShields and Choo. Puts runners in scoring position. 2 runners in scoring position.
And now you've made the infield come all the way in with your top RBI man at the plate who can sting the baseball too. He might just plant an infielder right where he stands. Fielder drove in his 69th run of the year with a double in the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Laid off that nasty breaking ball from Yates. Yates will throw mostly fastballs and sliders. An occasional curveball. That last was the curveball where he takes a little more off. Yates signed with the Rays, non-drafted free agent back in 2009. Little tapper coming down the line to Shields. The throw is high and goes to the backstop. The Shields scores. Everybody else is safe. Choo to third, Fielder to first. The Rangers lead it 7-1.
Well, that's what speed does for you. It puts pressure on that defense. Yates had arguably a pretty easy play to nail DeShields at the plate, but he knew he had to hurry and rush things. Just did not get a good throw off to Rivera. And he fields the ball to Shields, maybe a little bit further than halfway. It would have been a close play at the plate, but that speed definitely put that pressure on Yates. He knew he had to get rid of it, and he rushed it a little bit. Wasn't able to get his body in a really good position to throw a good throw to the plate.
Well, that's going to be ruled an error all the way on Kirby Yates. No RBI for Prince Fielder.
Yeah, that was going to be a pretty tough play. I'm not sure he would have had it.
Yeah, I agree with you. In any event, Rangers have pushed across 4 runs in the inning. Still just 1 out. Adrian Beltre now at the plate. That ball is belted deep to left center field. Goodbye. Adrian Beltre with his 10th home run of the year has broken the game open. 10-1 Rangers.
Go back to the last bat with Prince Fielder at the plate. Runners at second and third, first base open, and they didn't intentionally walk him. There's a good reason, in my mind, that they didn't intentionally walk him, because there's a guy named Adrian Beltre coming up next. You see what he just did there, a 3-run home run to break this wide open. So it was pretty much a situation, there, pick your poison.
Congratulations, David Alfaro, our Sonic Slam inning winner. $1,100 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Adrian Beltre in double figures with his 10th home run. Not much doubt about that.
None whatsoever. Those are the kind where you're just sitting there thinking, how far is it going to go?
Yeah.
And how quick is it going to get there?
Yeah, that threatened to go off that back wall on the fly. 1 ball, 1 strike to Moreland. Now 2-1. Well, that closes out the book on the starter, Chris Archer. And Adrian, with his 405th career home run, ties Miguel Cabrera. Now 2 behind Duke Snyder. And there's been a change on the play by fielder. They removed the error. Oh, no error on the play. An RBI for Prince. It's a fielder's choice, which I think is the proper one. Bill Fielder with 70 RBI. And Mitch lines one to center field. He has a base hit. His second of the night. And the Rangers have batted around here in the 6th inning. And Josh Hamilton, who started all this with an infield single, will come up.
Still just 1 out.
Hamilton 1 for 3. Rangers now 10 runs on 13 hits tonight. Out of play. Nothing in 1. Best run support, and Colby Lewis going to bump that up maybe a notch or two tonight. 4th best in the American League. Sneaking up on 7 runs per game, and he's gone over his quota here tonight.
Just a little bit.
Hamilton a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Yates back to Hamilton, and Josh able to lay off that changeup.
You know, you see the difference between Josh tonight and Josh just a few weeks ago. Pretty much any off-speed pitch that he saw, a left-hander or a right-hander, he was swinging at it. Now he's able to see it and lay off of it.
Started to go around. He did go around, according to Gabe Morales, and Hamilton gone on strikes. Josh kind of looking down at Morales like, you gotta be kidding me. But that is the 2nd out here in the 6th inning.
The shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Next to be Elvis. Andrews cranked a double high off the out-of-town scoreboard in left field. His first time up this inning. Elvis with the average at 255. Marlins still at first base. Strike 1. Yates to the plate. Elvis, along with the double tonight, has flied to deep left field and struck out. Moreland not being held at first. James Loney playing behind him. Kirby Yates with a 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Elvis just able to get a piece of that and foul it off. Elvis 5 home runs on the year. That's the 2nd most that he's hit in a year in his career. He had 6 back in 2009. That's his high water mark. 2nd time he has had 5. Another 1-2. Kiermaier backing up a couple of steps, makes the catch, and that will do it. But the Rangers send 11 men to the plate. 7 of them score, and the last 3 on the home run by Adrian Beltre. We have Gone through 6 innings here at Globe Life Park. The Rangers 10 and the Rays 1. Forward, and it got started with a long ball off the bat of Chris Jimenez, a 2-run home run. It was 3-0 Rangers. And then the Rangers got an RBI single from Chris Jimenez in the 6th as the floodgates opened. Rangers putting 7 on the board, the last 3 of which came on Adrian Beltre's 425-foot home run, his 10th of the year. Well, the Rangers backing Colby Lewis with 10, and Colby's night is finished. Spencer Patton comes out of the Ranger bullpen to take over here in the 7th inning. For Patton, his 23rd appearance of the year. Spencer working to get that ERA back down to manageable levels. 232, the opponent's batting average against Patton. Last worked on Saturday up in, or I should say on Wednesday up in Minneapolis. Ryan Strasburger has come into the ballgame. Taking over for Josh Hamilton in left field. Well, Patton on to start the 7th. He'll face the bottom 3rd of the Rays order. Desmond Jennings has been called back to the bench. Daniel Nava, switch hitting outfielder, is taking Jennings' place. So Nava up for his first at bat of the night. And Patton pouring in strike 1. Nava, you may remember from his time with the Boston Red Sox. Never really found a home in Boston. He lines this one to center field. The liner to Shields thought about charging and trying to make a shoestring catch, thought better of it. And Nava is afforded a leadoff single.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Tampa Bay number 5, Brandon Guyer. Kevin Kiermaier. Brandon Guyer,
and Kevin Kiermaier has been called back to the dugout. Brandon Guyer will take his place in the batter's box. Kevin Cash going to his bench, getting some folks into the ball game. Guyer, we saw in last night's game, got the start in right field. Ended up going 1 for 3 in that game. First pitch to him from Spencer Patton is in for strike 1. No balls and 2 strikes. Patton back to the plate. And a base hit to right field. Toward the line, that's going to allow Nava. Yeah, he thought better of it, I guess. Get at second base and stopped right there. He had to get down out of the way of that line drive. Off the bat of Geyer, went right over his head. So back-to-back singles open up the seventh. And Rene Rivera now will come up, and Mike Maddox on his way out to the mound.
So far, Patton's been gotten those last 2 hits up in the zone. That's not really where you want it. So Maddox out to give him an adjustment.
Well, Spencer receiving the information. Quick reminder that it's Safety Saturday. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. It's brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation. A 2 on, nobody out. Rene Rivera tonight is 1 for 2. Had a single back in the 3rd inning. Last time up in the 5th, had a ground ball to short, and that's exactly what Spencer Patton would like right here. A ground ball to first, second, third, short, whatever it takes. Nothing in 1. Pretty good slider from Patton. I think what part of the message that Mike Maddox took out there was that, hey, these guys are not taking pitches, so they may want to swing at the first thing you offer up there. You may want to think about something other than a get-ahead fastball. Right down the first baseline and just into foul territory. It is nothing in 2.
I think the other message was, keep it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Nava at second, Geyer at first. Patton with the 0-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. Like right down there?
Right there, perfect spot. What Rivera was asking him there. Patton goes with the fastball. It's a pretty good pitch.
I don't know. What would a hitter ask an umpire in that case?
I probably should have swung at that, right? That's about the only thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that happens a lot. You know, it's not always, you know, the hitter turns around and says something, you know, I don't think that was a strike. Now, most of the time they do.
Yeah.
There are times when, did I really just look at that pitch?
John Jaso. A couple of base hits tonight. He is 2 for 3, fouls that pitch off, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jaso now with the batting average up to 337 with his 2 safeties. Patton nods in agreement. He will check the runners and miss just inside. 2-1. Talking earlier about Jaso. He was with the Rays, came up with the Rays originally in 2008. Played parts in 2010 and 11 with them. He's down at his feet. 3-1 the count. Jason then spent 2012 in Seattle before going to Oakland for a couple of years. Now back where it all began. It's on full circle for him. 3-1 with 2 on and 1 out. Outside, ball 4. Nope. Excuse me, I had it wrong. That is ball 4, isn't it?
That's a hitter there. He wants to hit. He's not worried about a count. Somebody's going to have to tell him to go to first base.
And apparently nobody was going to do that. No, that loads him up. Grady Sizemore now will step in. Sizemore 0 for 3, and that's going to do it. He will not face Spencer Patton. So the back-to-back hits to start the inning, that's one thing. But then the walk after getting an out, that was more than Jeff Bannister cared to see. So Patton finished after a third of an inning. We'll get the left-hander Jake Diekman to come into the ballgame. So 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th. We'll take another timeout. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Take you back for the Coors Light cold hard fact. Beltre had a 3-home run game in Game 4 of that 2011 ALDS series against Tampa Bay, the 7th 3-home run game in Major League postseason history. Adrian Beltre and that cold hard fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Jake Diekman on now to take over on the hill. Spencer Patton finished after giving up a couple of hits and a walk. He's loaded the bases. Diekman on to his 9th appearance of the year for the Rangers. Diekman, of course, came over with Cole Hamels from Philadelphia, that trade deadline. Facing Richie Schaefer, who's pinch hitting for Grady Sizemore. Schaefer, a ball and a strike. Saw Schaefer handle the DH chores last night. Went 0 for 4 in the ball game. Hitting at .250. This just his 7th game with the Rays this year. A couple of home runs, 2 driven in. 25 home runs total for Schaefer between the major leagues and the minor leagues this year. And Diekman coming back with that power fastball, and he's ahead of the count, 1-2.
He's got a pretty good fastball that he slings from that left side. And it's just, you know, it could be very deceiving and devastating. Anything in that hard, 98 miles an hour, with a little bit of movement, not many hitters have a chance against that.
Diekman set, and the pitch to Schaefer. Instead, he steps off the back of the rubber. Diekman, in his first 8 outings with the Rangers, was unscored upon, with the exception of the 2 runs that he gave up in his blown save in Minnesota. That was in that first ball game. 2-2 now. Matter of fact, that's 2 of the 3 hits that he gave up came in that blown save. Other than that, 7 outings with 1 hit allowed. He has been just completely overpowering. He could use the strikeout here against Schaefer. Right up there would be good.
And you're good.
Go back to that 2011 series just for a minute, talking about Adrian Beltre. It won to left field and scalded it to left field. It won to right field. And then hit one more towards center. He spread the wealth around. That was one of the best performances the Rangers had in their postseason. It was fantastic. And there's that man Longoria singling to left field. A couple of runs are going to score. Strasburger gets the ball back in. But Longoria, a 2-run, 2-out single, cuts the Ranger lead to 10-3. Longoria now 54 runs driven in for the year. And the Rays still have life here in the 7th inning.
You know, there are just no, it doesn't matter what the score is, but when runners are on base, Longoria seems to be that guy that comes through. First pitch swinging, looking for something hard that he can drive. Drills that ball into left field.
Now those 2 runs on the ledger of Spencer Patton. He is still responsible for runner out at second base. John Jaso out at second base. And James Loney now will get a chance to face the left-hander Diekman. Diekman slinging that breaking ball up there. Loney backing out of the way, and it was a ball. Loney this year against left-handers hitting just .227. Against right-handers came in hitting at .280. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Diekman with a 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. You'll notice against Jake Diekman this year, left-handers have had a little more success than right-handers have. Left-handers have hit .269 against him. Right-handers .231. Reverse splits for Diekman. You would think with his kind of funky delivery, left-handers would have a hard time picking the ball up, but apparently that's not the case.
It looks like that's the case for Loney because he's already bailing before Diekman even throws the ball. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
See a big left-hander like that. He's on the first base side of the rubber setting up, and then he slings it from almost sidearm.
The 2-1 pitch. And now Longoria thought that there were 2 strikes, and he was going on the swing. And he is thrown out at first as Moreland got in behind him. Longoria completely lost count of the track of the count. And yep, my bad. No, that'll do it. The Rays get a couple of runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 thanks to this play. Longoria in La La Land and No Man's Land at the same time. We'll take the stretch with the Rangers leading 10-3 and Chuck Morgan introducing God Bless America.
Please welcome back Naquanda Nobles.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the
All the ones we got in. Manny chose for tonight's selection. Manny, thank you very much. If folks would like to submit your photos, use hashtag Southwest Data Strong Fan, and your photo just might be selected to be aired during an upcoming broadcast, as Manny's was tonight. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Rougned Odor starting things off for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rangers on top 10-3. Odor tonight is 1 for 3. He has scored a couple of runs. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning and scored. Also had a single back in the 2nd. Pitch foul back. And the count is even at 1-1. Odor at 273 with the 8 home runs, 39 driven in. Yates gets that breaking ball over, and it's 1-2. Two and two to Rougned. Yates with a pitch. 3-2. Odor trying to get aboard to start off this Rangers 7th. He'll be followed by Chris Jimenez, who had a big night at the plate. Rangers as a team have had a huge night at the plate. And ball 4. Odor, the leadoff walk, and Jimenez coming up.
Yates having a pretty tough time locating the plate. Like he's fighting himself right there.
Chris Jimenez had a home run and a single. He has scored 2 runs. He has driven in 3. As that batting average now back up over 300, 308. Got 8 total RBI as a Ranger this year. 1 ball and no strikes. Jimenez had 33 RBI in 69 games at AAA this year. And the breaking ball from Yates makes it 2-0. high in the air to left field. And Yonava out there makes the catch, and that is out number 1.
Center fielder, Delano.
No, before we go back to the top of the Ranger order, let's send it over to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break. All right, Dana, thank you. The liner to Shields, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. He has also scored a run. He's drawn a walk. Had a stolen base. Well, he has had a very good night, batting at .267. Came close to hitting his second ball out of the ballpark in the last 2 nights. Flied out to center field in the second. 2 balls, no strikes. Yates having a little trouble getting the ball in the strike zone consistently. Rangers gunning for their 9th home win in their last 10 games. That ball hit well to center. Back near the track. That is out number 2. Back to first base goes Odor. Go to Shields, a long out. He'll go back to the Ranger dugout and brings up Shin-Soo Choo.
Shields got another ball. He hit hard just to the wrong part of the ballpark. Deepest part, right center field.
Outside to Choo. Choo 2 for 3. Single, double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. He's also had a walk. He's been doing some pretty heavy lifting ever since the All-Star break. Hit switch from the right field. Down the line, back at the wall. Goodbye! Shin-Soo Choo with his 15th home run of the year, and the Rangers have put up a dozen. It is 12 to 3.
Choo got out in front of that one a little bit. Pulled it to right field. 2-run bomb. Second hit of the night. Back in the first inning, he hit a double to left center field. And here in the 7th, gets a pitch out over the middle of the plate. Drills it.
Now Prince Fielder, a towering fly. That's not going anywhere though. Schaefer coming in and makes the grab. That will do it. Now the Rangers add on a couple more. Shin-Soo Choo with his 15th home run of the year. Rangers 2 runs on 1 hit. After 7, it's 12 to 3 Texas.
The game, you got to give it to Brian. You know, Star Wars weekend, and Brian comes in his homemade Chewbacca outfit. Our producer thought it was a Davy Crockett outfit, but it looks like Chewbacca to me.
Oh, yeah.
I understand you have some sound effects. Let's hear it, Brian.
I do.
There we go. One more time. Very nice. Here's the bag. Congratulations. Way to go, Brian. Anything else you'd like to say? There we go. All right, Buzz.
Hey, I assume the translation on that last one was "Go Rangers," right?
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, that's pretty good. He's got the
That is,
outfit.
that's great.
He's got the voice down pat. He's good to go. He passed for me. I thought it was him.
Yeah. Jake Diekman working to James Loney. Loney's got to be saying, "Hey, I was up here last inning. Longoria forgets how many outs there are, and I have to face this left-hander again, starting this inning. What is the deal here?"
That can't be good.
No. Outside and low. And James Loney's heart may be into it, but his posterior is headed the other way. 2 balls and a strike. Now 2-2. Diekman came on to get a strikeout and then gave up the 2-run Longoria single. Longoria, with Loney at the plate, forgot how many strikes there were, what the count was, and wandered off first base. Chris Jimenez politely threw down to first and had Mitch Moreland remind Longoria how many strikes there were. Diekman with a payoff pitch. Ouch. Odor picks up the roller. One gone. Good thing it's a warm night. Cold night, that's gonna lose your fingers too. Folks, a reminder, you can follow the Rangers wherever you are with MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball, and at bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. 1 out here in the 8th inning, and Tim Beckham entered the ballgame defensively, and he's having his first at bat of the night. Beckham hitting at .230 for the season. 5 home runs, 22 driven in. Sliced into the right field corner and out of play down that right side. Have an error on one of the fans down there. Oh, 0-2 the count. Brandon Gomes, right-hander, loosening in that Tampa Bay pen. Rangers 12 runs on 14 hits tonight. The Rays 3 runs on 8 hits. Backdoor breaking ball, see you later.
Nice
Little
pitch.
bit of a cutting slider, and Diekman gets his second strikeout.
Nice pitch by Diekman. Goes back door on him. Not much Beckham can do with that one, but look at it.
A 2 up, 2 away, as Drupal Cabrera now will turn around and hit from the right side. Cabrera 0 for 2 with a walk. That's the power changeup, it looked like, for strike one. 91 mile an hour changeup.
Wow.
Yeah. Cabrera's walk came in his first plate appearance. And he's down on the count now, 0-2. Diekman, as we were remarking, with the exception of that first game in Minnesota, he's been virtually untouchable. The Rangers really feel like they, between Jake Diekman and Sam Dyson, power arms for that back end of the bullpen. Cabrera hits the ball well the other way. Chu going back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. Cabrera reaching out and driving one into the seats in right field. His 8th home run of the year. It's a 12-4 game. Did not see that coming.
Not at all. My goodness, he is on fire. Left-handed, right-handed, it doesn't matter to Cabrera right now. Who's up there? Who's out there on the mound throwing? Diekman, that's not a bad pitch down and away. I guess it is a bad pitch. You got to hit out of the ballpark, but more times than not, there aren't going to be too many hitters that can do anything with that one. When a guy is this hot, almost doesn't matter what you throw up there to him.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Cabrera with 8 home runs now. He is now 1 for 3 tonight and continues swinging a torrid bat. Daniel Nava turned around to bat from the right side against the left-hander Diekman. Nava came on as a pinch hitter last inning in the 7th for Desmond Jennings. Had a base hit, scored a run. Nava 143 with the average now as he faces Jake Diekman, and Diekman misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Diekman set. Target set right in the heart of the plate. 2-1. And Sam Freeman, who was up earlier in the ball game, up again and loosening. Right under the glove of Adrian Beltre out into left field. Well, the ball looked like it stayed down. Adrian expected it to come up just a little bit, but that's going to be an error on the Ranger third baseman.
Trey going to his left, just came up a little too soon. Ball stayed down on him. Got under that glove. Something we don't see too often.
Yeah, that you may see one time a year. Yeah, Mike Maddox out there to talk to Jake Diekman and to Chris Jimenez. Yeah, okay, everything's all right. Well, get Brandon Geyer here and won't be a problem. First Ranger error of the game. Talked a little bit about the Rangers defense coming into the ballgame. Still 14th in the league. They buried themselves early with a miserable defensive first half. They've come around lately and played much better. Elvis will go the short way to get the sliding Daniel Nava, and that will do it. A run on Asdrubal Cabrera's opposite field home run. 1 man left on the air after 7.5, 12-4 Rangers.
Rangers hanging on to a comfortable lead here on Star Wars night at the Globe. This game 2 of a 3-gamer between the Rays and the Rangers. Game 3, the finale, will be tomorrow, a day game affair here on Fox Sports Southwest. Evan Longoria and Elvis Andrus, a couple of the hot-hitting principals in this one. Once again, things get going at 2 o'clock here on Fox Sports Southwest. And guys, as I send it back to you, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
Never seen Star Wars. Any of them. All I know is like Princess Leia had buns and Luke Skywalker had a lightsaber.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen like clips and heard about stuff, but all this stuff is like this. Woo! Way over my head.
I would say you probably shouldn't tell anybody that, but I just think you told the Metroplex.
Yeah.
No shame in my game, Mark McLemore.
None.
You know this.
I do.
No shame in my game.
By the way, nice moves down there. We saw that.
Thank you very much.
Now I know what to get you for Christmas. That get you the whole box of them, box set of Star Wars.
I'm begging you to not do that. I'm begging. Please don't.
Brandon Gomes, go ahead.
Dance lessons might be later.
Yeah, the first part of the dancing was okay, but the second part, we got to work on that.
Adrian Beltre going after Gomes, and Adrian was looking for his second home run of the night. He's going to have to wait a second for that thumb to quit throbbing on him. Beltre 1 for 4, that 3-run home run, his 10th of the year, 33 RBI now for him. Rangers leading 12-4. Gomes, the third pitcher used by Kevin Cash tonight. Longoria across the diamond, throws out his counterpart, 1 away. And Mike Napoli is going to come off the bench and get an at-bat in place of Mitch Moreland. Drew Smiley, the left-hander, will throw tomorrow for the Tampa Bay Rays. And you would expect Mike Napoli to be in the lineup probably at first base tomorrow. So Jeff Bannister getting him back tonight.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance he'll be in there playing first. And the fans once again, a standing ovation. Nice little cheer and chant.
Knapp looking for his first hit with the Rangers this year. Average for the season, 203. Rangers, of course, got Napoli from the Boston Red Sox. There are his season numbers. 13 home runs, 40 RBI. Nothing in 2. Knapp now 33 years of age. Remember, he was with the Toronto Blue Jays for about 25 minutes, I think, the first time. Angels traded him there, and the Blue Jays sent him here to Texas. And he is rung up on that swing. Trip Gibson, the first base umpire, said, yeah, it went around. And Napoli, a strikeout victim there, 2 away.
And tailing in on Knapp a little bit, trying to hold up. A little bit too much torque there.
Well, Ryan Strasburger now, who went in defensively for Josh Hamilton back in the 7th inning, getting his first at bat. Takes low for ball 1. Strasburger, 154 is the average. Still looking for his first big league RBI and home run, for that matter. Takes the breaking ball from Gomes. 1-1. 2-1 as Gomes misses low and inside. Strasburger got a couple of starts when Josh Hamilton missed the final 2 games in the Minnesota series. Breaking ball, catches the lower part of the strike zone. Ryan, a 27-year-old out of Indiana. Strasburger this year up among the Pacific Coast League leaders in stolen bases at the time of his call up for the first time. He'd been successful in 27 of 33 steal attempts in the Pacific Coast League. He's gone on strikes here as Gomes gets a couple of strikeouts, sends the Rangers down in order. We're moving on to the 9th inning at Globe Life Park in Arlington. The Rangers 12 and the Rays 4.
To the top of the 9th, looking to close this one out and take the series with 2 straight wins over Tampa Bay. Dana Larson here with you, reminding you we've got Rangers Live post-game edition coming up right after the game. Pudge Rodriguez is here with me, and I know he's going to be happy because we're going to be talking a lot about tonight's catcher. I also imagine we'll be going through that big 6th inning once again. We'll have reaction from the manager, Emily Jones, in the clubhouse with the key players after this one, and we'll set up the finale coming your way tomorrow, Sunday afternoon. So please join us right after the game for Rangers Live. Now, though, we'll get it back to Buzz and Matt, guys.
All right, Dana, thanks very much. And Sam Freeman has come out of the Ranger bullpen to take over here in the 9th inning. Freeman in his 43rd ball game. Sam, no record, an ERA of 2.79, and he's done a good job coming out of the bullpen, holding the opponents to just a 2.17 batting average. Sam hasn't been scored upon in his last 6 outings, and he will face Rene Rivera, the catcher, to start things off, the number 9 hitter. He takes outside for ball 1. Sam Freeman, 28 strikeouts in 29 innings of work this year. Get off speed pitch. Getting Rivera out in that front foot. Rivera 1 for 3 tonight. Had a 3rd inning single. Also grounded out and struck out. Tampa with 9 hits tonight. Rangers with 14. Rangers have put theirs together a little more efficiently. Mostly on that 7-run 6th inning that the Rangers able to put in there. One ball and 2 strikes. Freeman back to the plate. Now 2-2.
Freeman's had a pretty good little stretch here. His last 28 appearances, he's only given up, or last 20 innings in 28 games, he's only given up 2 earned runs. Another guy with reverse splits. He does better against right-handers than he does against left-handers.
Just blew away Rene Rivera for out number 1. Now back to the top of the order, and John Jaso. So Freeman with his 29th strikeout of the year. looking back over the last 2 months, there's been one game that Sam has given up a single run in. Prior to that, go back to the end of June. Been a very consistent workhorse for the Rangers. Matter of fact, until Jake Diekman and Sam Dyson came over, Sam was establishing himself as one of the primary 8th inning guys. 7th inning jam or 8th inning to work it.
Yeah, he did a really good job. And, you know, I think the addition of Dyson and Diekman, I think it only makes him better because now he's not being run out there, you know, quite as often. He's got some help out there. So I think the fresher he is, obviously, especially getting late and deep into the season, the fresher he is, I think the better he can pitch. I don't know how much better he can be, but he's done a pretty good job.
No, he has. He has. 1-2 to Jason. That one just a little bit short of the mark. Now 2-2. Sam out of Hebron High School up in Carrollton. Grew up in the Metroplex. Ended up signing out of the University of Kansas. Spent some time in the St. Louis Cardinal bullpen. And Jason wearing out that front foot with the foul balls. Freeman again with a 2-2. And the count has gone full.
You know, I think, Buzz, that Sam might be the only left-hander that actually wears his hat straight on his head.
It is straight. Yeah.
That's a little odd.
I don't think he got the memo when he first issued his first baseball hat. Breaking ball got him swinging. Jason. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Nope. It's called the 3-2 slider. Might have been the last thing that Jason expected from Freeman. Now from Colby Lewis, you might expect one.
That sure looks like it.
Jason spinning around and saying something to Chris Jimenez, like, come on.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be a catcher too, you know. Here's Richie Schaefer. 0-1. Schaefer came on as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. He struck out at that point in time. That was the first hitter that Jake Diekman had faced. Up the middle, Odor, a dive, can't quite come up with it. Schaefer with a base hit into center field, and the game continues. So Schaefer 1 for 2 aboard with a 2-out single, and now Evan Longoria again. Longoria tonight 1 for 3 with a 2-run single in the 7th. Well, Longoria hitting at .278 as he faces Freeman. One ball, no strikes. Longoria, along with a single, had a walk back in the 4th inning. Also flied out and grounded out tonight. Beltre scoops that one up, a little flip to Odor, and that is a winner. Rangers win it going away, 12-4 tonight. They have won the series here by winning the first 2 ball games. They'll try for the sweep tomorrow. Colby Lewis, win number 13 with 6 very solid innings of work here tonight. Rangers backing him up with 12 runs on 14 hits. Rangers make it 2 in a row and 9 out of 10 here in the friendly confines of Globe Life Park. All around very solid ball game once again tonight for the Rangers.
Very nice pitching. Bullpen came in. They did a nice job. Colby Lewis obviously going to 6 innings. The offense was there. Jumped out with 6 runs and that's or 7 runs in that 6th inning. Kind of blew this game wide open. So a nice win for the Rangers, taking the series from the Rays.
Rangers now passed the Rays in the wild card race. They are now a half game ahead of Tampa Bay. And with the Angels losing, that means the Rangers are just a game and a half back from the Los Angeles Angels for that second wild card spot. And the final nail in the coffin for the Rays tonight, Shin-Soo Choo blasted his 15th home run of the year. And we'll go down to the field where Emily Jones is standing by with Shin-Soo.
Chu, a big win for you guys offensively. What seemed to be working from top to bottom?
I think everybody did a great job. Astros is not easy pitcher. He's one of the top pitcher in the league. But he did a lot of ball today, and then we are not chest. He's a pitch, and then we hit it like good pitch to hit.
Don't do it. I hung in there for a long time on that one.
I don't know why.
Sorry, Chu. I know. It's good. That means good things are happening. Good things are happening, right?
I think everybody did a great job, and then especially Kobe Lewis, he did all year. Did it, great pitch. I think start Kobe, and then everybody connected. So.
As far as hitting in that 2 spot, is there anything different for you? Anything that's clicked for you there?
Not really. I have a lot of people ask me questions, but I feel like see the more pitches. Not chase. Outside the zone. Just swinging on my pitch. That's I think a success. That happened.
How good does it feel for you guys to be playing so well at home, winning 9 of your last 10 now here at home when you struggled so badly to start the season?
That's happened. Probably. We know this field, in the home field. The fans. Cheer for us. Just, I think feel better, just feel more comfortable, I think, yeah.
Chu, congratulations on the win. We appreciate the time. We'll send it back now to you guys.
All right, Ann, thanks very much. Well, 12-4, the final here tonight, the happy final at Globe Life Park. We'll be back with a lot more, and we get you ready for Rangers Live after the ball game, right after this timeout on Fox Sports Southwest.